Hello and welcome back to the channel. So this week we are back with another Scale Modelling Weekly, as we call it, and this is episode 3. Now, different this week is there is no SDK 10 on the bench. That's because I've come to a bit of realisation with this one. Sometimes life is too short for some kits, and I've got a lot that I want to do. And I was going to slip in a couple of sort of quick builds as we go forward. And this one doesn't really fit the bill. It's taken a little bit of effort. It's obviously not Tamiya. And I'm struggling a little bit around the cowling, the bonnet, sorry. And the way it's being built up, I'm thinking this is going to go on and on and on. And it's going to be a little bit complicated, which isn't really what I wanted. I could easily build the kit, I'm sure. And take my time and get it all worked out, but that wasn't really what this was for. So I've just called it there because, you know, I haven't got a lot of time, like I said, at the minute. And with the heat, I'm trying to get in here when I can do some stuff. And I want to really just progress. I want to do some stuff that I like building and enjoy the kit and the process as I go. So it's not a problem to call it on a kit here and there. Doesn't mean it won't be built. It's just not being built at the minute. There's plenty of other kits to fill the void, and it's not like, you know, we spent 50, well not even 50, 100, 200, 300 pounds on something like you would with other sort of hobbies, like, you know, I do fishing, you know, you can spend, easily spend 50 pounds on a day ticket somewhere just to go fishing, you know, so still got the kit, not a problem. So just trying to let you guys sort of get the point across that if it isn't working for you, don't think, oh, I've got to push on, I've got to push on, I've got to push on. Have it as this sort of like chain that you're dragging behind you. Just let it go, pop it back in the stash, try something else. And that's what I'm going to do. So that's new, but there's also an awful lot more going on this week. So we're going to have a look now. There's something right there, which has been sent to the channel, as well as a few other little bits that came with it. So we're going to have a look at that in a moment. I've been buying like crazy. No, not too much, but I've had 3 kits come in. 2 I wanted. 1 ended up leading on to having to get another one to sort of make this idea. But it's going to be a brilliant video for the channel. It's going to be a brilliant couple of videos for the channel for the armour guys. Something I've never done before. I've been inspired by a friend's work, shall we say, and a few other things that have been going on around, and it's made me think, right, I'm going to try and push my own boundaries. It's a German tank. I'm not going to tell you what it is yet, I don't think. I may even leave it all the way up because it's got the chance of going missing, I think, it's fair to say. But I'm hoping I can get on through it. They're both brand new kits. Look absolutely brilliant out of the box. There's not a lot of extra work to do. It's all in there. You know, don't need to add cast texture. No need to add weld beads. It comes with photo etch. It's brilliant. But one of them is bordering on being a wearaboo wonder, which is a bit out of my league. However, it did exist. So we're going to go down the route and we'll see how we get on that. As well as that, I've got a completion, which I'm really happy about, thankfully. I'm just waiting on a little thing for some figures. We were looking at it the other week. And we've also got the Dornier is up on its legs. So we'll take a look at that as well. So, there's not much for it other than to get down on the bench. Hello guys, just a quick one. I just wanted to let you know this week that I've decided to relaunch my Patreon channel, simply just to give an option for people who want to support the channel, because I get certain things, you know, sometimes I get sort of donations via PayPal and things like that, and it's just an easier way to keep a track of it, or to also kind of formalize it, because then I can mention people in the videos that do that on PayPal and also through Patreon, and it gives you a place if you want to go somewhere to support the channel, really, if that's what you want to do. Obviously in this climate you do not have to, absolutely not. It's just if you want to, it's an option there. It's not going to be, there's nothing hidden behind it or anything. There will probably be the odd post on there that I wouldn't do other places, like social media type posts, just to let you know what's going on the bench or something interesting. There's also the option on there. I was thinking if you want to find out something, it's an easier way, more direct. You can just ask me a question, I can answer it. How did you do this? Oh, I did that. What product's this? Oh, do it. Grab it here, for instance. Whereas on YouTube, in the comments, it's very easy to things get lost, and then the links don't work very, very well or anything like that. So it's just an option for you. And if it's something you feel like you'd be interested in, then the link is down in the description to my Patreon page. And if you wanted to join along, I'd be very grateful. There's only one tier, it's pay what you like. I think it starts at whatever your currency is, like £1 or $1 or something like that. It's as little or as much as you want to do. It's entirely up to you. I thought leave it open-ended. I think I did too much last time, sort of promising ad-free videos, giving different tiers, and it didn't work for me. I don't think it worked for the guys that were following along either. So hopefully you realise what I'm trying to do there, because I got a slight backlash when I first did it. It's simply an option, it is not a requirement. So I just thought I'd bring your attention to that if that's something that's of interest to you. Now on to the next segment. So we've been sent some stuff this week to the channel, which I don't always do. They sort of reached out to me through one of my videos and offered to send some stuff in, and we had a bit of a discussion back and forth, looked through the website, chose some things. This is just part of it. So what was sent to me, and the main thing is what they want to talk about really, is this. So it's from Top Notch Models, Masks and Accessories. So it's obviously a small business from what I could, from what I've learned from speaking to the chap there, and they're just looking for a little bit more exposure. And really, the idea is to use these in some builds, and I'm more than happy to do that. It's a bit different for me as well. It's not something I've ever thought of doing. I will give it a go in one full build, but so stuttering here. What they actually do is camouflage masks. So that's their main thing. That's what they're sort of sets them apart, I suppose. So and what that means is, so if we take this is for a Spitfire Mark 8. For the aircraft guys, you may find that there's some interesting stuff floating around my mind that I'm hoping to do, because all of these relate to kits that I have. So just saying. So what we get is the armor mask stuff that you'll find on other mask sets, or if you cut your own masks, this is the sort of stuff you use. And it's a pre-cut vinyl in the shape of the camouflage pattern, and you just peel it off, which I won't do, but like you'd get tweezers under there, peel it off, and then relating to your guide, you take the numbered part, obviously this comes out and you unfold it, you take the numbered parts and you apply them in a certain sequence as is described to paint the mask the scheme, sorry. So for hard edge schemes, certainly on Spitfires, this is a great way to go about it, because what you've got is obviously the hard edge scheme, and your armor mask goes down quite nicely on the surface. I usually do the white tack worms or blue tack worms. So I would roll out white tack very thin, and I'd put it in the shape. After painting this green, for instance, I'd be masking the green, and then I'd fill in the middle just with the cheapest tape I can get, do that all over, spray the brown, peel it all off, then you've got your camouflage. So this just saves you having to use the white tack. So that's basically the main line that they do, but they've also got, attached to that, a range of insignia sets. So what we've got here is to sort out my Spitfire Mark 1 that I've got left over from the dual boxing that Edward put out. I can't remember what it's called, the Spitfire story, it's the first boxing. So I've got the later Mark 1A in there. And we've got Sailor Milan's scheme. So what you get here is, I have to be careful because I've got some double sets. I think you get camouflage masks, insignia sets, and then they do a double set. That's not what this is. So this isn't the double set. This is the insignias, which has got all the markings. Now what I have noticed, which I find rather curious, is you get two sets. Guessing to aid with any mishaps, because there's nothing worse than getting your roundel out and you mess it up and you think, oh, well, I haven't got any more roundels. So that's a good thing. And you can see what you get. That's the pack. You get the 2 sets, and they've got the different markings. And you can see on there, hopefully, you can see where it's cut out. You've got the roundels and all that sort of thing. So these are going to be builds that are coming down the line, and I do not need much of an excuse to build a Spitfire, I've got to be honest. Certainly not a kit as good as the Edward kit. And I'll probably pick up another Tamiya Mark 1 because I enjoyed that build so much. So we've got Sailor Milan's Spit. We've got a few other things here. We'll come back to these in a moment. There's another one, and that, and there's another one. Yeah, right. So we've got Sailor Milan, so I'm going to be doing that. I'm also going to do the Airfix Hurricane as Tux Hurricane. So we're going to, it's a bit of a Brit heavy vibe here, which again I'm not going to apologise for. And we've got the Dunkirk Queen QV. So what I've gone for here is pick the actual camouflage mask set and the insignia set. So what we'll do in this one is a proper go at it to give you the Spitfire, which is all going to be masked up in this glorious scheme. This is the one that went down on Dunkirk Beach, got recovered, is now at Duxford. I think it's a flyer as well, so really sort of come back. Highly recommended you position the masks in sequence. So again, I'll be building this one up, and this is what I'll probably use the Tamiya kit for. So I'll get another Tamiya Spitfire. These will be throughout the rest of the year, obviously. I mean, I'll chuck a Spitfire in here and there. Probably go Spit, hurry, Spit, something like that. And that's always a scheme I've wanted to do. The black and white unders, honestly, you really don't need to convince me to have a go at one of those. And then again, on this Hurricane, look at that. God dear. And what they forgot to send, so we sent them on, is the decals. Now, all I would say about these is these look like some I've used before, and they've got the colour already surrounding the markings. So, you know, you need to make a decision there, whether that's something you would like to do, because obviously matching up the green, you can see what the problem will be. You'll use a different green, you'll put this green on, and it will stand out like a sore thumb. But I'll have to check the reference, because that could even be what it is. It could have been a painted over patch. So we'll have to have a look. Again, like I said, this has literally just come out the box. I'm just going to reunite the two. But I'm not too worried either way. I mean, I'll make it work one way or another. So they're the actual kits I'm going to make that will incorporate these throughout this this year. In there as well, I've got the Edward Mark 8, which is all ready to go. So actually, I thought of all the ones, this would be a very useful one, because it's where they've got the blanked off roundels, because it's the SEAC, is it? Yeah, scheme, where they've obviously overpainted sort of forest green and all that sort of jazz. So that's those. And then what they've also got, I thought, well, I build a lot of 109s, build a lot of 190s, and I like my early Spits. So if we get a stock up of mottling masks, which I will probably do a demo of, but I know a lot of people would cry out for something like this because they struggle with the mottling, don't like doing it, just want to get through it. Well, here's your way to do it, and we will do a little demo on that, on probably a test piece, may even build something up just for it. We've got the Insignias Balkan Croix, which is a bit of a lifesaver now for the old Edward issue, whether it is or not for you, it is for me, so I don't like using the decals. Yeah, so they got the rivets, so obviously painted on markings is absolutely the best way you can go about it. And it really makes the rivets pop. So very interesting. So they're the crosses. So I've got my 109 E's and then F to K's because they're different size, and the FW190s. And then we've also got some insignia markings for early roundels. So there we go. So that'll be coming to a video near you soon. They also do 3D printed stuff. It's up to you to make your own decision on this, much like other stuff that's out there. I don't have this. This is a sprue holder. I have been using it and it is actually useful. We've also got, which I didn't have. Now this has proved useful. Now this is one that someone bought me a long time ago and I've used it ever since, and it's been a lifesaver. And what they've sent through is a couple more. I've got one in black and then a set of 3 in pink. And what I didn't take on board is that this doesn't fit in there. So you have to have a different sized one. So that's useful. So I said we were going to start using that. I don't know if it's generic, but I don't think your Tamiya bottle's not going to fall over in there either. But it is a bit loose, so it's probably one that fits both, rather than having to have two if you want to interchange. And we've also got a micro set and sole holder, and a few other things like that. So you'll be seeing that. It's not like product placement. It's actually, I'm going to be using it. So it'll be interesting. You see it there. And if you want to have a look, it's Top Notch, which is www.topnotchmasks.com. That's the place to go. Have a look. They also sent me this, minus the sticks. Not sure what to say about this. These aren't the right sticks for it, I don't think. So they're a bit wobbly, but you know, it's doing a job. They're not lying down now, they're upright, so that's good. Interestingly, as we move away from Top Notch, so that was the Top Notch stuff, I grabbed these when I was ordering something off of Amazon. And they didn't half strike me like the Infinity type. I haven't got it, but this is the Infinity. And they also do a set of hard sanding sticks. And they came out of Korea. They're almost the exact same type, size, rigidity, shape and cut. And they were half the price. So just saying, always worth giving those sort of things a go. It's up to you whether you think it's good or not. These are the ones I've got, and as you can see, they're even the same colour. Makes me wonder if they are the Infinity sticks without the branding. So that's a little run through of what we got sent into the channel. So next up is a quick bench update, and we won't dwell too long on this. All is to say that between the heat, I didn't want to do any spraying. I'm talking like it hasn't been that hot. You know, if you live in other places, you know, half the places are in deserts. I know Spain's getting hit hard at the minute. I mean, this is nothing. But if I don't have to paint, I won't paint. So I haven't. So before it sort of got a bit warm, I got this underside sprayed. So what I've actually painted is Tamiya XF23 and then gone over with MRP ROM65. But I must admit, the Tamiya colour was almost bang on. So I don't think I'd need to worry next time. But anyway, I did that and then sprayed up the wheel wells, masked it all off, just so I could get the gear on so it's out of the way, because there's quite a lot going on with the gear. And we've also got a few bits here. We've got the sort of landing, the nose wheel bay doors and the bomb bay doors. So still quite a lot going on under there, and we've got a bomb to go in. I also sprayed up the props as well, just straight through ROM 70. And the aftermarket nose wheel is actually inaccurate. When I looked through the book, I looked at my book, and that's not right. It's actually what the kit gives you. It's meant to have that kind of, well, that hub all the way both sides, whereas they give you some kind of fictitious thing. It's got nothing on the back, and I know it's hard to see because it's black, but it's that on the inside. So I don't know what they're going at, and it's too big, so it didn't fit. So I'm pleased that I actually spotted that. But I've used resin wheels here on the main landing gear, and they are flattened off. So nose weight works. Of course it would, it's Tamiya. There you can see, all good. So that's been up on its legs, and we'll continue with the top work, probably leave it another week, and then start painting again. Now one for the tank, guys. God, I nearly dropped it. Just imagine that. So here we are. Very pleased with this for a number of different reasons, I guess. Let me just grab... Ooh, I've dropped another one. Of course I have. So we've got 3 figures to go on here. We'll start with the figures. So I've had a little go at the figure painting. Now I've found my limitations here, and I don't mind admitting it. Back along a couple years, I did some painting. I managed to do all of the piping back here around the sort of tunic, and it wasn't half bad. I just can't get in there now. I don't know what's going on. I just cannot it's not about sort of seeing it. It's like I just don't seem to be physically able to almost like deal with it. You know what I mean? It's just trying to get in there so tight. I just cannot. I was going back and forth and back and forth, back and forth, and I thought, right, that's it. So I ordered the Tamiya decals, so that's my route from now on. I don't mind admitting it. I don't need to be a figure painter. I just want to add figures and get there as close as possible. So I'm happy with the face. I can still do that. I can get around the eyes and all that. I'm going to add in the hair around the back of his head and the eyebrows, and then we're on to the insignia. So as a decal on the Tamiya sheet, we'll get the patches there, the patches there, one there, any medals, and the one on the side cap, and then we'll move on from there. And then when we're done, we'll matte it down. I'm pretty happy with trying to give a bit of interest to the black. As you can see, the shininess is like 3 or 4 different shades of black. It's hard work, you know. Black tunic, black trousers, black belt. I mean, goodness. But anyway, they're coming along. The important thing is the tank's finished, the base is finished, and here we are. So what I like about this is that I've got past a number of hurdles, which I was saying about before. So the base is done. I'm very happy with that. It can go a long way further, but that's for another project. For this one, this is absolutely fine for where we want to get to. I'm very happy with that. You can see how it finishes off a kit. If we lift it up a little bit, you can see how I got some of the dust weathering and lots of lessons here. This is an unforgiving paint scheme. Using a high contrast paint scheme gets you there so much quicker. So if this was German grey and we were doing a light dust wash, we would have been there months ago. If you were going Dunkelgelb and you were going to go a darker sort of dusty, muddy feel, again, no problem. If it's 3-tone camo, again, no problem. This kind of Africa core camo in Russia in the autumn, very tricky, very, very tricky. But I feel like I'm there now. Hard to tell on the camera, but when you start getting in, the detail does show. I'll just show you my proudest bit here is on the front plate here, which again, it just kills it. You just can't really see it. There's a lot of heavy oil work there. Spent a lot of time sort of stippling oils. Oh, there we go. That might show it. It's kind of... There we are. It's just this kind of heavy build-up all the way along this front plate. And you've got sort of blending going both ways. What I like about this is it's starting to look like the models that I look at and get sort of inspired by. It's nowhere near it, but it's getting there, and it's an awfully big step forward for me from where I was, and that's what I like to take from this. And the fact I was doing this a year ago, so again, started November 2020, just to remind everyone. Weathering completed more or less in June 2021. Unbelievable. Never mind. Here we are. Now it's on the base. It's going to be finished. This releases the videos. I'm going to start editing the videos this week that you're watching this. We've got an aircraft coming out on the Thursday, and then I'm hoping we'll start this rolling on from the weeks after that. And then hopefully, obviously, to break it up, the Dornier would be finished by then. That's the idea I will roll on. So, yeah, very pleased, very happy that's out. The figures will be finished off as soon as the decals arrive. Stick them in. Happy days. Job done. Another one complete. So, now we're back with the final segment, and this just grabbing a book from the bookshelf. And I'm going to go for this one. So, number of reasons. I'm going to keep it a bit shorter because the rest of the video's gone on a bit longer. Now, it's all very German here, isn't it? But I think that's fine. So what we've got here, this is basically an account of, it's the memoirs of a German soldier on the Eastern Front, funny enough. And the chap is Gunther K. I'll leave you to say the last one. Now, I didn't actually read this. I had this as an audio book. My dad read this, gave me this book. I didn't get round to it, saw it there on Audible, so grabbed it, downloaded it. What an amazing sort of account of the Eastern Front. I'm fascinated by the Eastern Front on both sides. I just think it's absolutely well, amazing. And it's fascinating. So not to spoil it, but he does he has a little break over in Italy, but he's really chucked straight in and there's no messing about. It's straight at you, talking about what's going on. You get at the start. It's here. It's the old marketplace where he's learning about. Oh no, maybe it's just the introduction. I think he's straight into it. The first chapter. Like I say, it really is an unbelievable account. And he's straight into Stalingrad. That's chapter 2. I mean, you just there's nothing like. I've never had a book like it. Just wall to wall craziness all the way through. Obviously, lots of losses, rough old time of it. You even get what goes on at the end as well, which is just amazing when it all starts to go wrong, and you sort of lose the structure in the army. It's really unbelievable. So there we are. Well worth a go if you're into these sort of books. It's quite short. The way it's broken down, if you take like. So we go here, usually there's not a lot. It's basically what he's written down and then he's recounting it. So you've got obviously 27th of November is this part to this part. So if you're one of the people that I am actually very much, I'd rather read short bits over a long period, it works for that as well. You can see it's not like pages and pages and pages for one chapter, which is what sometimes does me in with reading, I've got to be honest. But there we are. Blood Red Snow, The Memories of a German Soldier on the Eastern Front by Gunter K. Let's have a go then. Kosherek. Well worth a go. I've seen it all over the place. Frontline books. It's one of the ones that will turn up in the works, places like that. But yeah, well worth having a look at if you're into the war in the East. So there we are. I hope you enjoyed that. I know it's been getting a little bit German on the channel. Well, currently, I know that what you've actually seen has been Messerschmitt Cromwell's and now Messerschmitt. But I'm trying to break it up. Obviously, we've got a number of Spitfires and Hurricanes coming down the line. I'd like to do some American stuff as well. Probably vehicles. I've got a Jumbo in the stash, the Meng Jumbo. I think that would be a great subject to do. I know it's just another Sherman. The M18 Hellcats around, I noticed, so I may even pick one of those up at some point and give it a go. So there's a lot going on behind the scenes, so hopefully it's, there's a lot of interest there. I try and break up the German stuff, however, it is one of my main interests, for better or worse. I sort of can't help myself, so I think that's probably the case for a lot of guys. As always, thanks for staying tuned. We've got the Edward BF-109F coming up on Thursday, so that's one to stay tuned for. That's a full build of Assy Han's aircraft from 1941 on the Western Front. So it's an interesting aircraft, that one. Nice scheme and some of the best modelling I've done so far, even if I do say so myself. Very pleased with how it came out. So stay tuned for that one. If that's the one you want to catch, that'll be out on Thursday. And as always, thanks for staying tuned. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.